Welcome to the Parsha Perspective. Each week, we will delve deep in a weekly Torah portion to find a practical and insightful way to enhance your daily life. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Shalom Yamini. Each week, we will look into the weekly Torah portion to find inspiration that will complement your daily life and intensify your connection to God. This week's Parsha Perspective is being dedicated by Kfir Ben Moshe Morris in honor of the birth of his baby boy. May Hashem bless him, his wife, with much health, success, and nachas. This week's Torah portion is Parshas Vayishlach. Our Parsha begins with Ya'akov Avinu returning home to Cana'an after more than 20 years of absence. Still fearful of Esav, Yaakov sent messengers to him with a message of reconciliation. However, they returned with a grim report. Esav was preparing to greet him with 400 men. In response, Yaakov sent him a large gift of hundreds of cattle, donkey, and camels. He split his family into two camps, so if one was attacked, the other one would be able to escape. And then he turned to God to pray. The night before, he was to come face to face with his brother Esav. Yaakov moved his family and belongings across the Yabok River. After everyone had crossed except for him, Yaakov met Esav's guardian angel. They started to wrestle and fought until dawn when the angel wished to go. However, Yaakov refused to let him go until he blessed him. So the angel gave Yaakov a new name, Yisrael, the Prince of God. One of the other stories in this week's Torah portion is a drama involving Leah's daughter, Dina. Our story begins with Dina leaving her camp and venturing out into the city of Shechem. As she entered the town, she met the crown prince, who is also named Shechem, who abducted her and violated her and kept her hostage. His father, the governor of the city, approached Yaakov and told him that his son was infatuated with Dina and wished to marry her. Yaakov's sons agreed to his proposal on one condition, that all the men of the city would agree to give themselves a circumcision. So at the urging of Shechem and his father, the people of Shechem agreed to the strange request. However, on the third day following their circumcision, Dina's two brothers, Shimon and Levi, went to the defenseless city of Shechem and killed all the men who were recovering from the circumcision. And then they liberated Dina from Shechem's house. When Yaakov heard what his sons did, he was extremely unhappy, because he feared revenge from the neighboring nations. However, the fear of God was put on the rest of the nations of Canaan, so they left Yaakov alone as he was traveling to the city of Beis Kel. However, a question comes to mind. The pasuk at the beginning of the story of Dina writes, "Vatetze Dina bas Leah asher yolda Yaakov liros bevanos haaretz." And Dina, the daughter of Leah, who was born to Yaakov, went out amongst the daughters of the land. Rashi explains that the reason why the pasuk says Dina, the daughter of Leah, is to tell us that Dina learned the habit of going out from her mother Leah. So seemingly, Rashi is saying that it is Leah's behavior that led to this unfortunate incident. So how can Rashi add an apparent negative connotation and meaning to the pasuk about Leah, one of the matriarchs of the Jewish people? One of the answers that is given is that Rashi is just trying to mitigate Dina's fault in this unfortunate situation. That it was not Dina's nature to go out, but rather her mother Leah's. So therefore, the mistake of going out by herself to the city of Shechem was not entirely Dina's fault. However, the Lubavitcher Rebbe gives a deeper and more profound explanation. He explains that the blame for this regrettable incident lies, in fact, on Ya'akov Avinu. Because when Yaakov was preparing to meet Esav, the pasuk says that Yaakov woke up during the night and took his wives, 11 children, and moved them across the Yabok River. Rashi on that pasuk asks a question. It says that Yaakov moved his 11 children. However, there were 12, including Dina. So where was Dina? Rashi answers that when Yaakov was preparing to meet his brother Esav, he hid Dina in a box so Esav should not see her and want to marry her because of her beauty. And Rashi continues that Yaakov was actually punished for withholding Dina from his brother Esav, because perhaps Dina would have married Esav and she could have possibly changed him for the better. The Lubavitcher Rebbe explains that when Rashi wrote that Dina got the habit of going out from her mother Leah, it is not written with a negative connotation, but rather a positive one. Because the example that Rashi brings of Leah going out was in fact a good thing. The example that Rashi brings is a story from last week's Torah portion. That one day, during the spring season, Leah's oldest son, Reuven, picked some flowers from the field and brought them to his mother, Leah. Her sister Rachel saw them and asked if she can have a few of them. Leah agreed on the condition that Rachel relinquishes her turn with Yaakov that night. So the going out that Rashi uses as an example was only to be with her husband and to create the Jewish people. Therefore, we understand that when Rashi wrote that Dina got the habit of going out from her mother Leah, he did not mean it in a demeaning way, heaven forbid, but rather in a way of admiration. Because Leah brought up a child whose holiness was strong enough to change people, even people like Esav. One of the many lessons that the Lubavitcher Rebbe brings down is that we must never give up hope on the spirituality of another Jew, no matter how far they seem to have gone. This is why the Lubavitcher Rebbe sent emissaries all over the world to revive and strengthen every Jewish person's connection and relationship with God. In our daily life, it is imperative that we understand that we must never give up hope on each other. This is true by both our spiritual and physical lives, as many times it takes one small deed, a listening ear, or even just a smile to have an immense impact on a person's life. There is an amazing quote from Pirkei Avos, the ethics of our fathers. Have done as kol adam l'chaschos. Always judge others favorably. Have a great weekend and good Shabbos. Thank you for tuning in to the Parsha Perspective. Check out our website, theparshaperspective.com. Send thoughts and comments to theparshaperspective@gmail.com. Till next time, thanks for listening.